feel the infinite. I'm reaching out to know the divine. I'm reaching out to feel the infinite. And forever is already mine. Sing again. I'm reaching out to feel the infinite. I'm reaching out to know the divine. I'm reaching out to feel the infinite. Yeah, forever is already mine. I'm already there. I'm already home. I'm already safe in my eternal soul. I'm already there. I'm already home. I'm already safe in my eternal soul. I'm reaching out to feel the infinite. I'm reaching out to know the divine. I'm reaching out to feel the infinite. Yeah, forever is already. I'm already there. I'm already there. I'm already home. I'm already safe in my eternal soul. I'm already there. I'm already home. I'm already safe in my eternal soul. I'm going deep to feel the infinite. I'm going deep to know the divine. I'm going deep to feel the infinite. Yeah, forever is already mine. Rising up. I'm rising up to feel the infinite. I'm rising up to know the divine. Yeah. I'm rising up to feel the infinite. Yeah, forever is already mine. I'm already there. I'm already home. I'm already safe in my eternal soul. I'm already there. I'm already home. I'm already safe in my eternal soul. I'm already there. I'm already home. I'm already safe in my eternal soul. I'm already there. I'm already home. I'm already safe in my eternal soul. I'm already there. I'm already home. I'm already safe in my eternal soul. I'm already there. Oh, I'm already home. I'm already safe in my eternal. One more time. I'm already there. I'm already home. I'm already safe in my eternal soul. I'm already there. I'm already home. I'm already safe in my eternal soul.
Thank you, Daniel, for bringing us home. Appreciate that. Tyler, thank you, Dan, and thank you, Lisa, for opening that. Awesome. Good morning, beautiful people. And I don't care what you said when you looked in the mirror this morning. You are beautiful.
Thank you.
Awesome. Who said that? I love you. Well, good morning. My name is Ron, if you don't know that, and it's my pleasure to welcome you here to Unity of Walnut Creek for our Sunday service. We are so pleased to have you. We are blessed to have your presence with us. If you would turn off your cell phones or put them on silent so we can share this beautiful time together. So please join me in turning to the camera and waving hello to our online community. Good morning. We are so glad you're here. Thank you for being with us. Please know that you are an important part of our spiritual community here at Unity of Walnut Creek. So thank you and enjoy the service. Daniel Nemut. Thank you, sir. If you don't know, he's our special guest musician today. And he is from Los Angeles. That's all right. It's good.
Does it help that I'm actually from
That helps a lot. Yes, thank you. But right now, he is Los Angeles-based. He is a singer, songwriter, and a humanitarian. He has worked with some of the most influential and brilliant speakers and leaders in the world, including Gene Houston, Marianne Williamson, Deepak Chopra, Mark Victor Hansen, Arun Gandhi, and Yolanda King, and many, many more. Now, he is here today with us. So thank you for blessing us with your presence. So Unity is a positive path for spiritual living. Here at Unity of Walnut Creek, we have a mission, and that mission is this. In loving community, we empower spiritual growth by modeling and teaching universal spiritual principles. So now I invite you to join me in affirming our statement of faith. And so we're going to take a deep breath into the heart, and as we exhale, we're going to say thank you. Then we'll move into our prayer. So take a deep breath, just move into your heart. And release and say thank you. Yeah. And now our statement. There is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, the all-loving goodness of God. And just soak that into your being and know it to be true. And now it is time to welcome our newcomers. If you are with us for the first time and are comfortable in doing so, we invite you to raise your hand so we may bring to you a welcome packet. Oh, great. Well, thank you for being here with us today. We appreciate that. And if you would rather, you may pick up a packet at the welcome table. There is a connection card in your packet. Please take it to our bookstore for a special gift. Connection cards are available for everybody else in the seat pockets in front of you. With this card, you may submit a prayer, request information, and if you do submit a prayer, you will be prayed with our prayer chaplains throughout the week. If you request information, our staff will respond to you during office hours. You may also share feedback with these on these cards. And the ushers will receive your card at the time of the blessings, or the offering, should I say. Because this is all one blessing, but the offering comes later. And so, I haven't got to say this in a long time. It's huggy time. Now, if you don't want to get a hug, please put your hand out and we'll shake your hand lovingly. So please.
God, show the way. I want to live in such a state of grace. Lead the way, God, lead the way. I want to live in such a holy place. Show the way, God, show the way. I want to live in such a state of grace. Lead the way, God, lead the way. I want to live in such a holy place. Once more, show the way, God, show the way. I want to live in such a state of grace. Lead the way, God, lead the way. I want to live in such a holy place. Such a holy place. You are sacred love. Once more. You are sacred love. Sacred love is all that you are. You are sacred love, God. Sacred love is all that you are. Sacred love is all that you are.
I'm back. We have several activities here at Unity, and I'm going to list some of them for you. Does anybody love sweets? Oh, yeah. Do you know anybody who loves sweets? Well, Unity's children and youth are hosting a bake sale today. You will find them outside the community room after the service. And if you don't know where the community room, just go to the right side of this building, head down until you hit the tables. Also, plan to get your car washed here next weekend by our teenagers this Saturday. Both of these events are fundraisers for our youth and family ministry. So whether you eat sugar or get your car washed, you'll be doing good. And also, are you... Food and free sugar. Oh, see, this is why we come to Unity, right? And speaking of sugar, are you curious about how your biology affects your spiritual awareness? We have any curious people here? You wouldn't be here if you weren't curious. So join us for a workshop with Karen Rafton Friday, February 22nd. She'll help you to learn and enhance your life through empowerment principles from the cutting edge of consciousness research. And now I'd like to invite Don up to the lecture.
Hello, Unity Walnut Creek. So, Krabby, we're having a crab feed. 2 weeks from last night. It's coming right up. It's 2 weeks from last night. You can buy your tickets today in the patio. You can buy your tickets next Sunday in the patio. You can buy your tickets online, but you can't buy your tickets at the door. So go buy your tickets. In addition to yummy crab, there will be salad, chicken. What's a chicken doing at a crab feed, right? Pasta, garlic bread, spaghetti squash, and auction desserts. Dance music by old style DJ, old school. And, you know, some pretty crazy, crabby Unity dancing. There'll be a lot of dancing. The best way to participate in these events is to volunteer for something. The volunteer sign-up sheets are right out on the patio. We still need volunteers for lots of categories. So bring your family, bring your friends, volunteer, enjoy the crowd, and come see us 2 weeks from last night, February 23rd.
Thank you, Don. And I just been informed somebody lost their keys. So, nobody? Okay. 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 So, these will be at the bookstore after the service. And please check your bulletin or online for more detailed information about these and other events here at Unity of Walnut Creek. And now I'd like to invite Reverend Kristen up.
Thank you. So next Sunday, we have a special treat. Tama Keeves is going to be here talking about thriving through uncertainty, and she has a workshop at 2 o'clock. We always like it if our guests can come and introduce themselves to the best of their ability, and luckily in this virtual world, we have that capability. So meet Tama.
We're going to be talking about thriving through uncertainty, because I'm guessing that a lot of us are going through some kind of uncertainty right about now. But here's what I want you to know. There is already an inspired path within you, and I want to help you get to it and listen to it moment by moment by moment, because this is your time. Let's use uncertainty to take us to the greatest certainty we have ever known. I can't wait to play with you at the interactive workshop and to have you at the Sunday talk. I'm really looking forward to meeting you.
Tama's a life coach, and she's been, we've been in conversation for over a year, planning to get her here, and she's been known pretty widely throughout the country, including, New Thought arenas and so on, and you can probably get a little flavor for her that she's pretty high energy, so I think she's going to lift the energy up for us. So, and speaking of energy, now is a time of meditation, so we're going to move the energy to the within, and CL's going to start us off with a special community prayer reading, followed by some music by Daniel and some guided meditation.
On this 10th day of Black History Month, this is a love poem by Maya Angelou, who was actually a Unity person, touched by an angel. We, unaccustomed to courage, exiles from delight, live coiled in shells of loneliness until love leaves its high holy temple and comes into our sight to liberate us into life. Love arrives, and in its train comes ecstasies, old memories of pleasure, ancient histories of pain. Yet if we are bold, love strikes away the chains of fear from our souls. We are weaned from our timidity. In the flush of love's light, we dare to be brave, and suddenly we see that love costs all we are and will ever be. Yet, it is only love which sets us free.
Man, it hurts sometimes to live this life. Some days I'd rather run and hide. Maybe then the pain would hide as well. Maybe then I could protect myself. But who's gonna win? Is that really living? Oh, I wish I didn't know. But the answer is no. Nobody would win. So I could close my eyes and pretend I don't see. I could close my mind and pretend that I'm free. But my soul knows the truth. Life means stepping back in. I'm gonna open my heart. I could close my eyes and pretend I don't see. I could close my mind and pretend that I'm free, but my soul knows the truth, that life means stepping back in. I'm gonna open my heart again. So get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. Sing that with me. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving into the deepest kind of love, to the deepest kind of love, the sweetest kind of life, to the sweetest kind of life. Yeah. Get ready, my soul. Get ready, my soul.
And so we let go and give over to love. Wherever there are places of hardening or resentment, we let it go now. That's simple. Give over. Because if we are truly diving into the essence of who we are and all the allness of God, the divinity, the love, the infinite sea of love, we're not going halfway, all the way in. And so blow open the doors and the windows of your heart and your mind. Give yourself over now to God, to love, to that sacred love that has held you from the beginning when you were an idea in the sea of divine intelligence. And now you, as the divine idea, the very essence of love, placed here and now on this planet, to be that love to its fullest. Let's prepare for that by dipping into the silence, the depth of all that we are. And so quietly we dive in to love. And out of these just few moments of oneness with divine love, we emerge awash in love. Our whole bodies, our minds, our energy fields, beaming and radiating love, pulsing with love. And every thought and prayer that we send out into the world, every blessing, it's like Cupid's arrow of love. Send it wherever you wish, to someone who you know who could use a little uplift today. Send it across the world, across the oceans. Send it out into the cosmos. Your love, your prayers, your wishes, your knowing of this truth that you feel inside your heart right now that cannot be stopped. It is the unstoppable flow of love. And so it is.
Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. Get ready, my soul. There's one power invisible, and just see it everywhere and every day. One power indescribable, and just speak of it with every word you say. Mysterious until you know the truth. As simple as the love inside of you. Call it God, call it Spirit, call it Jesus, call it Lord, call it Buddha, Baha'u'llah, angel's wings, or heaven's door. But whatever name you give it, it's all one power, can't you see? It's the power of the love in you and me. We speak so many languages, different clothing, different colors, different names. But different is only dangerous when we forget that in the heart we're all the same. And we'll remember once we close our eyes to see that such distances were never meant to be. Call it God, call it Spirit or Jesus or Lord, call it Buddha, Baha'u'llah, Hashem or Heaven's Door. It's Muhammad, it's your mind, it's your soul, or it's your sign. It's the universe, it's music, Mother Earth, or Father Time. But whatever name you give it, it's all one power, can't you see? Whatever name you give it, it's the very air we breathe. It's the power of the love in you and me. One power, yeah. One power. One power is what we are. It's the moment of creation. It's an everlasting peace, freedom of forgiveness, the sweetness of release. It's the joy of inspiration. It's the sunshine on your face. It's the birthright of all nations. It's the boundlessness of space. It's the beauty of a baby, the serenity of sleep. It's the anger we abandon, for it's love that's most deep. It's one power. Oh, what we are is one. It's the power of the love that lives forever in you and me. It's the power of the love in you and me. Ooh-wee. Yeah. I could hear you sing that every day. And it hits me just... You too? Yeah, last night, those of you who were at that concert, yeah, and Palooza, and on it goes. This afternoon, the Interfaith Concert, by the way, if you would like more of Daniel, 3 o'clock at Christ the King is the Interfaith Council's harmony service that we held here last year, the Peace and Harmony Week. And this year, we partnered with the Interfaith Council to bring Daniel here. And then they said, well, would you like him to do Sunday morning music while he's here? And we said, yes, Daniel, please. But that which he just sang about is the essence of what it's all about, right? But what this whole thing is about, this whole life, this whole spiritual journey. That one power is the love, the unstoppable power of love. You know, we think and we try to get around the power of love. You ever do that? Because we don't want to get hurt, usually. So we come up with all kinds of antics and strange, funny things, silly things that we do, ultimately, to try to stop that flow, that overwhelming flow. Flowing, unstoppable sound. The amazing things we plan. Thank you, Dave. In the Bhagavad Gita, it says, to love is to know me. To love is to know me, capital M, my innermost nature. To love is to know me, my innermost nature, the truth that I am.
You know, when you see it on a lot of our affirmations, it says, I am in capital letters. And some of you may not know that's to remind us of the I am, the truth of who we are, the spirit that we are, the divinity that we are, the unstoppable love, the one power that we are. That one force in the universe that we are all a part of, all of our beautiful diversity. You know, I just keep thinking about the explosion of population in the world, and I know in some ways we're concerned about that in many ways because of the impact on the earth. But if you think about it in terms of I've come here to love, I've come here to be the unstoppable force of divine love, I've been ordained to come onto this earth to be that, to embody that, to speak that, to be that in all the actions I take and all the projects I take on and all the interactions I have. If we have come here to really be that love, which I think we have come here to be that love, to be that unstoppable love, that force of love, then that explosion of diverse population is more opportunities for us to love, more ways for us to create bridges across what we deem as differences to that one heart, to that one truth, to that one essence, that one spirit that we all share. That's who we are, the I am, all of us. And that's where we draw our power from. So when we try to shut the doors, when we try to close the doors on love, when we, it's just as if you were to close the doors here and there was a big flood of watery love coming to us. If there was a big flood coming and you open the doors, then the flood can come through, right? If you close them, it might wash up against it and come back. And so when we close off to love, that's what we do. We can't stop the flow. The flow will keep going. It'll just go where there's an open door, where there's an open window. And so if we keep our own hearts and our own minds open, then that love will come to us and through us, and it will arise from us and come through us and out into the world. And that's the way it's meant to be. Like the law of circulation we talk about in prosperity, it's the exact same thing when we talk about financial good, financial freedom. Give as you receive. And when we receive, we also give. We're in that flow. It's the same thing with love. And so it's the call for us to stay in that ever-present flow of love, that gift of love. You know, in the most amazing times and places, the most tragic situations is when love can be felt most palpably. You know how that happens. And that's a time when humanity unites in ways and overcomes differences, when there's disasters or war or horrific things that happen. You know, many years ago in the 1300s, actually, the medieval bridge, Ponte Vecchio in Florence, is this beautiful bridge. And on it, there was this beautiful woman, Beatrice. And there was a man named Dante, you might know him. He wrote the Divine Comedy and lots of other poetry and prose. And he became, very famous. But it was because he stood at Ponte Vecchio and saw Beatrice on that bridge. And he said he had this vision when he saw this woman. And it was a vision of all eternity. And all of that creative work came from that. Because in that moment, he loved like he had never loved before. And he only got to have a couple conversations with Beatrice before she died of the plague. But she became his lifelong muse. She became the image of divine love for him, the image of that goddess kind of love that poured through him and gave to the world all that creativity that moved so many hearts in so many ways. And it was 650 years later that Jack Kornfield tells this story where World War II was going on and the American soldiers were chasing the German soldiers up the Italian peninsula. And the Germans were blowing up everything in their wake, just to stop the Americans, including every bridge. But then they radioed the American soldiers and they said, "We don't want to blow up Ponte Vecchio. Will you promise not to cross it?" And the Americans said yes, and they kept their promise. Not a soldier crossed Ponte Vecchio, not a piece of equipment, because Dante stood at the edge of it and saw love and created all that love from there. It's that power of love, that one power that pierces the unbelievable, the things that we think could never happen. Oh no, what soldiers would ever agree to that? I mean, that's the enemy. That's how they're trained, right? But no, because love is more powerful than that. The heart is more powerful than that. The unstoppable flow of the divine cannot be stopped, much as we may try. It cannot be stopped. If you think you are missing love, it's because you're not allowing the unstoppable flow to come through you and to you. That's all. That's it. That's the only miss. That's the only absence. Martin Luther King Jr. said of war and of racism that I believe that the unarmored truth and unconditional love will have the final word. Don't you believe that too? That unarmored truth, that unarmored heart, that unarmored self, that one who opens themselves fully to love and gives as unconditionally as possible will have the final word on all of our isms, on all of our war, on all of our divisiveness, on all of our issues that we say, you are the other and I am over here. Us and them and us and them, and we continue to play this chess game of us and them, and you name it, next week it's going to be black glasses, or yellow dresses, or, God knows what ridiculousness we will come up with to create these kind of antics that stop that flow, but it can't be stopped. That's the good news. The good news is it can't be stopped. It's ever flowing. It's always coming through us and as us in every breath we take, in every heartbeat we make, all around the world, all of life, beaming and teeming with this one power of love. Cannot be stopped. I remember when I was a little girl, I'd have those feelings for the first time that you have when you love somebody and it just suddenly comes up, and it sort of washes over you. You ever have that and you feel like you're kind of just taken over by love in that moment and you love this thing or this person or this animal so much you feel like your heart's going to explode? Anybody ever feel that way? Yeah, certainly if you've ever fallen in love or risen in love, you've felt in that way at times, And so there's that feeling, and I remember that feeling. I would feel it and it just came upon me. It'd be like all of a sudden I'd be thinking about my sister, and I'd have this like gush of love, and it was like, whoa, where'd that come from? And then I think I'd have the same thing for my father, my other, just everybody in my family, sometimes for my dog or for animals. And it was so beautiful and powerful, but it was also a little scary. I'd always have that thought that followed, like, oh, what if something happens to them? What if they die? Oh, Lord, then what, And then we have that close, right? Ooh, I better not love too much, because it might hurt. And that's what we want to overcome, that fear. We don't even need to overcome it. All we have to do is say, I'm going to be brave. I'm going to be brave. I'm going to open that gate. I'm going to open that door. And I'm going to be who I've come to be, this courageous embodiment of love. Isn't that what we've all come for? When I was writing this talk on Friday, I had some Dove chocolates left from the board retreat. Good to know there was some left. And they have a promise in them, so you unwrap sort of like a fortune cookie and it has some little saying in it. And it said, don't stop until you're proud. And I was not thinking of it in terms of pride, like egoic pride, but like don't stop till you feel complete. And I didn't think of it as just writing this talk, but don't stop loving until you feel complete. That's a lifetime of work, isn't it? It's unstoppable work to say, I'm going to keep loving and I'm going to love some more and I'm going to open my heart some more and I'm not going to close the doors and I'm going to just keep them open as much as I can keep them open. And maybe today it's just this much, and maybe next week it'll be this wide. Who knows? But if we just keep working at that and keep allowing ourselves to be bold in our love, then that unstoppable flow. And what happens when we do that? That love, who wants to close down that feeling, that surprising feeling of being awash in love, to feel like you're in love? Like you're in love all the time, you know? I remember my friend Mary Lacaille, when we were getting together in ministerial school, and she was in the class behind me, and so everybody was introducing themselves, and Mary just was so caught up in the love and the feeling, and she's so pure and childlike in a way with her love, and she said, I'm in love with all of you already. And it was so genuine, you know, you could feel it. It was just like a child who was like, I love everyone and I love everything and I'm so happy to be here. And and it's that kind of feeling, like I love all of life. And it's those moments that we miss if we try to shut the unstoppable flow of love. But of course, it can't be stopped. It will just go elsewhere for a while. It will find a place. And it will find a place in us. It's like when we wound ourselves, we have a wound. It's like what happens? It's this miraculous thing, right? It starts to heal up, and then it scabs over. And then before you know it, you can't even tell that you ever had a wound. Isn't that miraculous? Isn't that incredible? That's love. That's the unstoppable essence of love. That's what heals the world. That's what heals us in every way, mentally and physically and emotionally, in every way. And it can't be stopped. That impulse to heal that wound cannot be stopped. Now, we can pick away at the scabs, and we can wound ourselves again, and we can create a bigger wound for love to heal, but love will not stop healing because it just keeps coming, and it keeps coming, and it keeps coming. So why don't just jump on the bandwagon and get in it, right? Let's just get in the flow of it. Because that's a way to live in which we feel alive, right? That's the way we live when we feel on purpose. And it's not about like necessarily like sometimes I think when we say our divine purpose, people go, oh yeah, the divine purpose thing. Do you ever feel that way? Like, I don't know exactly what my divine purpose is. I'm not really sure I've ever figured it out. I'm not really sure what I'm supposed to do. You're here to love. That's your divine purpose. That's it. End of story. It's that simple. That's it. And it can be so simple. I've been practicing love at Safeway. And I have to tell you, it's been fabulous. So I was there in the produce department. Second time I've seen this woman who works there. Her name's Flower. Anybody know Flower? See, a bunch of people know her. And you know why they know her? Because she is so friendly. I think she's the friendliest person I have ever met. So there I was with my cart, and I hear Flower again, greeting her customers by name, asking about their families. And I stopped, and I thought, I'm not going to just sit here and think how lovely she is. I'm going to tell her how lovely she is. And I said, Flower, you are the most friendly person I think I have ever met, and you make me want to shop here more often. And her, her group, her posse of customers was standing around, and their flower bloomed right in front of us, And it gave me so much, beside whatever it gave out, it gave me so much to feel that as well. So this week I was there again, and I was getting coffee at Starbucks, and there was a young man who was apparently new. I couldn't tell. He seemed very competent, but he was self-conscious, and so he said, I'm so sorry, it's only my second day. And I said, oh, you're doing a fantastic job. He gave me the warmest, biggest, sweetest smile. So I was like, gosh, I want more of that, right? So we're just kind of chatting. He says, do you play Monopoly? Because, they have that Monopoly thing. And I said, well, no, but I like the box game. I haven't played in a long time. He goes, oh, I love Monopoly. Well, I didn't even know he would know. He's this young guy, And he says, yeah, I love to while away an afternoon with my kids. And I said, well, how old are your kids? He said, 9 and 17. And then he just gave me that big, warm, bright smile again. And I don't know if it's because I asked about his kids or because he just thought of them, but it didn't matter because my whole heart was just filled with love and connection. And it's that's all it takes. That's all it takes. I think a lot of times we stop from the expression because of all of our silly antics, because we're afraid we're going to be rejected or it won't land or somebody will, I don't know what we're afraid of, really. It's so silly, isn't it? It really is so silly. It's whatever we're afraid of, get over it, because the unstoppable flow of love is here. And so just let ourselves just be the human being we've come to be. That the human being we've come to be is so beautiful. It's so precious, the human life, And so to connect with each other in that way alone is amazing. And then to top it off with an understanding of the divinity that is pouring through us is just like mind-blowing. And our opportunity to be that every day, to get up every day alive and like, what do you got for me today, God, to be in the unstoppable flow of love? How can I show up and be you in the world and be your expression? And it doesn't have to be something high and mighty. It can be something at Safeway or wherever you go. It can be on the road or with your coworkers. I brought some childlike Valentines today, and I hope you'll fill some of those out and give them to each other or give them to people throughout the week. I picked ones that I thought you might like puns and superheroes and things like that. But they're on the connections table, so please freely use those and just bring some of that childlike pure love to the people that you meet along the way or to people that you already know and love or people here that maybe reach out to somebody new that you haven't really, expressed any love with yet, and just give them a Valentine. It's pretty simple stuff, really. It's things we learned in kindergarten, literally, because having Grace, who's in kindergarten, come home and sing the songs she sings and tell me about the things she learned, it's like, oh, yeah, lessons in love. That's what we all need to learn over and over again, right? So one of the things that happens is this love and loss thing, right? This is where we kind of get tripped up, I think, is in the loss. I know this woman whose husband made his transition 10 years ago. And she continuously posts on Facebook these love letters to him, which, initially was lovely. And I'm not trying to, I just see where she's giving over to the absence. It's like the marriage she had, the man she had. There's so much energy put into sort of worshiping what was, what's missing, what's no longer there. It's like the absence has become like a form of worship. Did anybody ever relate to this or see this in your life? And so it's like, I don't think that he'd want that for her. I think he'd want her to be alive and here and fully present and loving what is around her. Because the truth is, their love between each other can never be stopped. It can never be stopped. People that we care about that have moved on, when we grieve, that's what we're doing, is loving them, loving what was between us and allowing it to continue. That fear that I had of my siblings and my parents dying, when I would have that feeling of being awash in love when I was a kid, and that fearful thought that would follow, what will I do when they die? Well, it happened. My dad died when I was 29. He made his transition suddenly. And I went through all those stages of shock and denial and, grieved the loss of him. But he's here with me always, I can call upon him anytime and feel his presence. When I say and do things he would have said and done, he's there. When I wear one of his old t-shirts, he's there. When I think of him, he's there. If I want to, actually, he loved roses. So when I just look at the roses, oh yeah, I remember. And Dad really liked the salmon ones, which were a little bit lighter than that. And, it's just like he's here. If I want him to be here, but I don't have to make a test, an altar to him that keeps the absence alive. You see the difference? It's like a pining versus a loving. It's like instead of letting the love flow, it sort of stops, or it can't stop the flow, but it sort of gets us out of it because it gets us out of what is here and now and present to flow in us and through us and as us. So we know for ourselves when it's time to kind of move from that deep grief of love, of just loving the person, and let it just be a continuation of loving the person without it being a worship of the missing and the absence of that person or that relationship that ended. Sometimes we're challenged to love, right? When we're in those places where we're having differences of opinion or we feel hurt or we're afraid we're going to be hurt, And I remember once when I was talking about my sister, Brenley's sister to her, and I was being kind of critical, and she said, Just love her. And then later I had the opportunity to say the same about my sister. And I was like, just love her, right? And I remember once when my sister and brother-in-law, my other sister and brother-in-law, were having trouble in their marriage, and his mother, my brother-in-law's mother, reached over to my sister. We were at a party and put her hand on my sister's leg, and she said, just love him. And it was just like you can feel how that just like melts, right? It melts all of our stuff about being right or being validated or being la, 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 la. All that stuff we get in, right? It's not worth it. So wherever you find yourself with those bumpy spots, just if you can just breathe for a moment and say, just love them. Love myself. By the way, there's a Valentine. Love yourselfie Valentine. So don't forget that one and give yourself a Valentine. Love is a lot like the ocean, for me it is anyway. When I spend time at the ocean, it's like spending time with God, in this sort of embodied way, And how the ocean keeps coming and she keeps kissing the earth, It's like over and over she's hugging and kissing the earth. Sometimes it's gentle and sometimes it's fierce, but there's that constant rhythm of love, 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 love. And it comes from the depths of the ocean, those dark places that we can't even see, those, that mystery. It's like the divine mystery. And that's sort of how this unstoppable flow of love, it pulls up from that divine mystery from wherever out into the ethers or deep inside of us in the dark places we can't even imagine, the recesses of where that mystery lives. And it's of love and it's made of love and it's our essence. And out of that comes this expression over and over and over again. And don't be afraid that there will be some kind of like drying up of the love. If you give too much love, that there won't be enough, because it's like that law of circulation. It just keeps getting replenished, right? And if you do, in fact, find yourself feeling tired or feeling overgiving, then you just drop in and you get quiet and you feel the source all again, replenishing you. And the love just rushes through you again and fills you up and spills over, pressed down, shaking together, spilling over, poured into your lap. Or so it is said in Luke chapter 6. Milan said to Annette, my friend, on her second date, I will always love you. I will love you with everything I have. Whether you love me or not, whether this relationship goes anywhere, I will always love you. Second date. That's pretty courageous, isn't it? But beautiful and true and authentic and honest. And so she's sort of like my heroine. Like I'm going to think about that every so often and think wherever I'm stopping or hesitating, like, oh no, just right through it, I'm going to speak it, I'm going to say it, I'm going to feel it, I'm going to share it. And I hope you will too. That's why we're here. That's why we're here. We're unity, bonded in love. One power, one presence, the all-loving presence of God, everywhere present, in our hearts, in our minds, in every cell of our bodies. It will heal whatever needs to be healed, just like those little boo-boos you get. Whatever comes your way, whatever comes your family's way. The doctors may make it sound horrific, and it may sound really dark, but just know there is an unstoppable flow of love that is meant to heal whatever needs to be healed, at whatever level it needs to be healed. And we trust it. And don't stop it. Don't try to get in the way. It can't be stopped. So we might as well receive it and allow it and express it and be it. Give over to it, Remember Kate Wolf's song, give yourself to love. If love is what you're after. Give yourself to love. Give over to love. Surrender to love. Open the doors of your heart and let love be. Let it become. Let it allow it to be. Allow it to be God made visible, like the Bhagavad Gita said. Allow it to be that essence, that I am, that truth in the world that it is meant to be, that we are meant to be, the embodiment of. Rise up in love. Get over the petty stuff. We don't have time for it. There's no time for that. We are the ones that we've been waiting for to raise up the consciousness of this planet, to bring forth the love that is here, to feel, to be. And it starts with each of us individually. So my greatest wish for all of us is that we will have the courage to be the love that we've come to be, that we've been asked to be, to know that it is not a flow that can be stopped. I am in the flow of unstoppable love. Are you in the flow of unstoppable love? Let's say it together. Let's know it. Let's feel it. Let's be it. I am in the flow of unstoppable love. And so it is.
Love is my decision. It's up to me to give of my heart, to give of my heart. Love is my decision. No one else can tell me to start, can tell me to start. Once I decide to change my mind, to change my mind, God will show me how. God will show me how. Love is my decision right here and now. My decision right here and now.
Thank you, Daniel. Thank you, Kristen, for sharing the truth of love with us. Our prayer chaplains are available after this service to provide personal prayer support. If you are a prayer chaplain serving today, please stand. Thank you for your service. Our prayer chaplains wear the lavender stoles, as you can see. Whether you have a joy or a concern on your heart today, praying with our prayer chaplains is a powerful opportunity to have your intentions raised up in consciousness. Guess what time it is? It's prosperity celebration time. Yahoo! No, come on. It's prosperity celebration time. Yahoo! There we go. We know in truth there is no lack or limit or limitation. Abundance is our true nature. Can you say that with me? Abundance is our true nature. Yeah. And for your convenience, did I miss something here? Yeah. Oh, I know. The law of circulation. So the law, yeah, it's not in here. Okay. So the law of circulation is this. When we celebrate our prosperity, the law of circulation is when we give, so shall we receive. Right? Can you say that with me? When we give, so shall we receive. Yeah. And then that's where we know that the limitation is never happening and never will be. And for your convenience, there are a variety of ways to financially give to this community. For credit card donations, use the push pay on your smartphone or take an envelope from the clipboard in the back of each chair. Those of you at home can also use push pay or click the donation button on the Watch Live page. And now I invite you to take your tithe in your hand and repeat the affirmation with me. Together, divine love, one with me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am joy-filled and grateful. And speaking of Daniel...
Was somebody speaking of Daniel?
If you would like to take him home, he'll be outside.
No. I am really expensive. Very expensive. You'd have to ask my wife, and probably be a bidding war, and see.
But if you
I
can't
hope there'd be a bidding
him,
war.
Yeah. But if you can't afford him personally, you can't afford his CDs that he'll be selling after the service.
Thank you. Yeah. I have CDs. I also have a USB drive for the digitally inclined. Has all 12 of my inspirational records on it, 160 songs, a little object the size of a credit card. And then, as I told the concert last night, and it's literally true, as I was talking before, I actually am more proud of my wife and boy and more proud of my wife's art than I am of my own. And I'm proud of my music, but my wife makes beautiful sterling silver hearts. And it happens to be Valentine's Day week, but it's not pandering because that's what she makes all year. So I have some beautiful sterling silver jewelry on the table and an email list if you're just open to finding out the next time I'm in town. But it's been a very, very fun 20 hours or so, fully supported, just great hospitality, volunteers, all sorts of help. Great job up there. So thank you for a wonderful day and a wonderful evening yesterday. All right, so this is one more song from an album called Cornerstone from a couple years ago. Maybe some of you will relate. I am a recovering child of 2 lawyers, and cynicism comes more naturally than an open heart. So this is a perfect talk for me. I'm always battling myself even while I'm singing, lobbing grenades, one side of the brain to the other. But this is a song about feels right. It feels right for today, and we worked it up with the band, so thank you again. Here we go, one more song. Oh, are the kids coming in? After. They can come in now. It's fine. I want them to hear the song. Come on in. And in the first service, it was mass hysteria when they were coming in the middle of a song. So come on in. Let's start the parade. Here we go. I know it's the longest service in the history of the world. Sorry about that. Here we go. Come on in. You guys ready? How many are coming in? What have I started? All right, here we go. Okay, here we go. All right. Okay. Well, I used to dream out loud. Just being human made me proud. Now I throw my hands up in the air from disillusion and despair. My heart has taken such abuse. I've used my hurt as my excuse. It's like my hope has disappeared behind the shadow of my fear. And I wonder why they say that aging thins the skin. Then I remember I am only one, but I am not alone. I don't need to do everything, no. I can right one wrong, I can sing one song. I don't need to do everything. It's time to dive back in, yeah. It's time to live again. I am unjaded. What if you have to fall to grow? I've fallen hard enough to know. So what if life's not fair? Doesn't mean that I'm too cool to care. And I wonder when I stopped believing right will win. Then I remember
I am only one, but I am not alone. I don't need to do everything, no. I can right one wrong, I can sing one song. I don't need to do everything. It's time to dive back in, yeah. It's time to live again, unjaded. What kind of life would I live with my heart closed? What kind of man would I be? What kind of world will I be creating if I can love with all of me? If I just love with all of me? I am only one, but I am not alone. I don't need to do everything on my own. I can right one wrong, I can sing one song. I don't need to do everything. I am only one, but I am not alone. I don't need to do everything, no. I can right one wrong or sing one song. I don't need to do everything. It's time to dive back in, yeah. It's time to dive back in. Oh, it's time to live again. I am unjaded. Oh, unjaded.
So if we can't take you home with us, can we keep you? Wow. If hearts were ever open in a room, feel that openness right now. The tangible love that fills this space. And let it fall into the fibers of the carpet and the fibers of the chairs and the paint on the walls so that we may continue to live with this open-hearted energy. And to celebrate it as our prosperity continues to flow through us and to us and as us, just as it does in the form of love. And let's bless our offering together. We give thanks for the ever-increasing, unceasing flow of absolute good in our lives now. So it is. Marching in the light of God. We are marching in the light of God. We are marching in the light of God. Morning. Do you want to tell us about what the teenagers did, YOU?
Today we discussed, and it was a question that one of the kids had, how does our spiritual belief affect our daily lives? Just a little question. And that happened in the beginning of the circle in check-in. So usually it's just answered very briefly, but it lasted the whole hour.
Nice. And how about the younger ones? What'd you all experience today?
What did you guys make today? We made valentines for the birds.
Wow.
They're little pipe cleaner hearts, and they got Cheerios on them. So we eat up the trees, spread them out.
Sweet.
And do you guys want to share something what we're doing today? Yeah, so we have a bake sale over at the Children's Center, and these are some of the examples. May, why don't you tell me what the cupcake is? So the cupcake is a surprise cupcake, and it has a little caramel surprise inside. It's chocolate with a buttercream and caramel topping.
Wow.
And she made it. Yes, I made it. And not compared to that, I feel it's a bit simple, but some nice, honest-to-goodness brownies. So, yes. Stop by. There's no fixed prices. It's mostly a love donation. So, just whatever you feel is right to put in the basket,
Yes.
I guess. Yeah, so we would love for you to come and join us over there.
Yeah. Thank you.
And it's double the taste, so.
It's on the side.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Let's bless our children and youth and teachers together. Children, youth, and teachers, we love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the divine light within you. Now we invite you to take your neighbor's hand if you feel comfortable doing so as we close out with our prayer protection and our peace song. Together, the light of God surrounds us. I am light. The love of God enfolds us. I am love. The power of God protects us. I am power. The presence of God watches over us. I am presence. Wherever we are, God is. I am divine.
Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God ever present. Family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
You are the love and the light and the peace on earth. Let your love flow and have fun.